Greetings, magical souls. I have a very funny session to share today. I connected with this dog, and afterwards I found out that he was a cross pug chihuahua. So that just gives you an idea of what this little guy looks like. It was so funny because when I initially connected with him, I kept getting like this mafia, the sense of somebody in the mafia. And I got from him that he was this massive personality in this little body, and that he was an older dog, very wise. But the interesting thing was that somewhere just after I had tuned in and gotten a sense of his personality and whatever, and I was really getting this like kind of like mafia type vibe, when I asked him to start the session and what he would like to share with me, I actually remember giggling the whole way through the session, because this voice and the way I described it was like the Godfather. Now, for me, the interesting thing is that I've never actually seen that movie, but I could just imagine that voice, that voice coming out. And also like, it was almost like this dog had like this cigar hanging out the side of his mouth, and he was talking like half a mouth in this like half Italian accent. And I mean, it was just so funny. I ended up saying that. I get the image of somebody in the mafia, that he has this massive personality. And then I've got like the voice of the Godfather. I can almost see him with a cigar hanging out of his mouth. This is hilarious. This is the first animal that I've got that I'm hearing like through an accent. And so when the human guardian responded to me, she said, "This accent is hilarious. I would picture the same voice if I had to give him one. He is, in fact, quite the character. He's a little dog, but always bigger than his physical size in his attitude. His tooth gets caught up from time to time in his lip, and it cracks us up. He knows this because he doesn't correct his lip. He is 9 years old now, and even though he's graying, he doesn't act like he'll be slowing down anytime soon." So that was that was exactly just the way that he came through. I'm seeing him almost like trotting places, going out into the backyard, and then he keeps kicking the sand with his back feet. And the phrase that keeps coming to mind is, "I'm the king of this castle." But it's almost like the king of the castle is for his personality and his attitude. But his heart is as big as his attitude, and he sees himself as your guardian. And the human responded with, "He absolutely kicks the grass or whatever material he's on. He does this all the time. He struts around after that also. And he's always on guard, even when he doesn't really need to be. He always tells us that someone has just walked through the door, even if they live there." And then I said, and I get that he's quite a lot of fun. There's a serious side to him, and there are parts of him that he takes quite seriously. But he does like to play a lot, but his guardianship he takes seriously. And I just said, "What a character." And then she just responded with, "He's very playful. He, in fact, plays with all the cat's toys and even their youngest daughter's plastic dolls. Like, he plays with everything." So that was a little bit of a funny one today. So this whole Godfather energy that was coming through this little dog, really, really, really quite funny. And I just wanted to share it because one of the funnier ones that I've had, and as I say, the first time that I'd actually heard like this, almost like this accent come through. And immediately I knew it was from The Godfather, even though I've never seen the movie. But that's kind of, he gave me like this, I'm the Godfather type thing. So thank you all so much for listening, and wishing you a magical day wherever you may be.